like that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just got home from work and I'm really tired, but I have been wanting to film this video for like 3 or 4 days now. I was talking to my girlfriend at work and we are actually both pregnant, and she's like a week and a half ahead of me. So I'm 22 weeks, she should be 24 soon. So we were just talking about items to put on registries and overrated baby items and items that people say, oh, you have to have this. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna compile my own top 10 must-have baby items, and then I'm gonna also compile items that I thought were overrated. So this will be a two-parter. There's gonna be my 10 must-haves and then 10 items that I found to be overrated. I'm gonna start this out like anything else. I always say these are my opinions. I happen to really love these items and these are must-haves for me, but to other people they might be complete waste of time items and they didn't like them or find no use for them or found a cheaper alternative. And to me, that's kind of what everything is about in life, finding what works for you. If you're willing to pay a little bit more money for something that you really like, that really worked for you, great. If you find a cheaper alternative and you find that it works out really well for you, great. So let's get into the list. I'm gonna do it in no particular order, though I kind of want to get the, I'm just making sure I'm in focus, you guys, because again, you guys know I'm not set up all fancy over here. And also my lips look kind of swollen. They are, and I also overdrew by accident, so you know, there's that. So I'm not going to do this in any particular order, but this is going to be my top 10 must-have baby items for me that I found useful for me and my family. So the first item I'm going to go to is going to be the most expensive and the most that I would say other parents would say that's completely overrated. I wouldn't spend that much money on that. The baby's not going to use it for that long. It's completely a waste of money. And I agree. It's a lot of money. But for me, my son just loved this to the point where I really wish that I had it for Sophia, and I really wish that I had it for Isaiah. I had it for my third, Aiden. And it's the Mamaroo bouncer seat. I'm gonna call it a bouncer. I don't exactly know, but it's the Mamaroo seat. And I'm going to try to insert pictures here of what that looks like. I'm going to try to do that for every item, get all fancy with it. You guys know sometimes I don't have time. But the Mamaroo retails for $250. Unless you get a simple one, then it's $219. I like the one that's a little bit more expensive. You plug it in, it has different settings. It has a car ride mode, so your kid feels like it's in a car seat. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've heard from moms that they've had to put their kids in car seats to get them to go to sleep or take them for rides to calm them down. And this sits in your living room and does that for you. It has a different music choices or sounds like rainfall, waterfall. It has a sound that's very close to what maybe being in the uterus would be like, although I don't know how they know. And it has even, you can set up your phone or an iPod, you can actually connect it to the Mamaroo to play music for the baby. So I thought all of that was really awesome, but mostly just that car ride setting. Aiden loved that. And if he was restless and we had done everything in our power to try to help him, and he just was tired, and so he had kind of worn himself out and was just really tired, he would sit in there and go right to sleep 2 seconds. So my baby really loved it. A lot of babies really love it, but that particular brand is really expensive, but I feel like it's worth it. And if you're gonna have more than one kid, just keep it in good condition and just kind of keep passing it down. Don't get rid of that item if you suspect that you'll have another baby. I had to get rid of mine because I had a toddler at the time, Isaiah, who jumped right in and wanted to try it for himself and broke it. So it wasn't safe to use anymore. I wouldn't use it for Lennon even if I did have it, but I am planning on buying another one. So my quick tip for this item since it's such a big ticket item, of course put that on your registry. If the place that you have a registry through does any kind of deals or incentives, you might be able to get it a little bit cheaper if you buy it for yourself. No one else has to buy it as a gift, although if they want to, cool. And I'm registered somewhere like buybuy BABY, so I'm registered there. They send 20% off coupons often. You also get a 15% coupon when your due date is approaching. So wait for those coupons and you can save a good amount of money on the item. So that is I'm gonna get that out of the way because it's kind of expensive. And like I said, some people might not agree with me, but honestly, like, I would not have Lennon without that. I wouldn't. The next is going to be another item that I think people would disagree with, but that is baby specific detergent. So I use Dreft. That's probably one of the only ones you're gonna really find out there, especially at baby stores. I just really love the way that it smells, and I do love that it's a little bit safer. But it's not as strong fragranced, it's not as strong, strongly put together as something like Tide or All, something like that. What you can do as an alternative though, if you don't want to separate your kids' clothes from yours, and I love doing that. I don't know, there's something about getting a little basket of just tiny clothes and throwing it in the washer that I live for, and so I will separate and wash with their own soap all day. This is a must-have for me. But if you don't want to do that, what you can do is kind of switch your family to one of those no dye, no scent detergents. A lot of people kind of lean towards detergents that smell really good and have really strong scents, and that can be irritating to the baby's skin when they're brand new like that. So just watch out for that. Even my husband, who is a grown man, has broken out because we tried to switch detergents at one time. So you just want to be careful with that. So you can always switch your whole family to something that's a little more wholesome, a little less chemicals, dyes, scents, stuff like that. So my next item is, so I registered for a baby bag that is essentially a backpack. And I just love these because any backpack style baby bag, because they are easy to wear. So you don't have to worry about lugging something on your shoulder, especially if you have more than one kid. And if you have more than one kid in diapers, you're gonna have a good amount of stuff with you, and it's a lot of stuff to carry, and carry a car seat, and hold a toddler's hand, and try to open your car door. So it's nice to just have a backpack option with the baby bag. So that's why I like to wear that. The next item on my list of must-haves is butt paste. So you guys, my kids don't get a lot of rashes. I don't know if some kids are just more prone to rashes. I know certain diapers made my kids all break out differently. So for example, Isaiah could only use Huggies. I used Luvs with Sophia because they're inexpensive, and I remember my mom using Luvs for my little sister and my little brother. Sisters, forgot one. And they're really inexpensive, and they work just the same, and I like them, and they didn't leak through and all of that jazz. But when I tried to use those for Isaiah, he would get such a bad rash that it would bleed. Like it was just, and that was from one time. It wasn't from multiple diaper changes. It was like you opened his diaper and there it was. So we switched him to Huggies, and I thought, okay, for A, we'll just do Huggies because I like them. They work. No rashes. And then for A, he got rashes from the Huggies that were identical to the rashes that Isaiah got from the Luvs. So then we used Pampers. So in that experience of having all these kids, butt paste is everything. It soothes them so that it doesn't hurt them, because sometimes those rashes are a little intense and they hurt. And think about if you had a rash on your butt, how you would feel. And it takes it away almost like next diaper change, it's gone. And like I said, my kids didn't get a lot of rashes once I found the appropriate diaper that worked for them. My kids never really break out in rashes like that, but whenever it did happen, butt paste took it away like a crazy fast amount of time. So definitely that's what I would recommend for rashes. The next item on my list are going to be receiving blankets. So this seems like kind of a no-brainer. I feel like most people who have kids have some sort of receiving blankets in their house, even if they got them as a gift and they didn't intend to, or you bring some home from the hospital, those little ones that they burrito your baby in. But receiving blankets are everything. So there's gonna be something on my top 10 overrateds that I actually use, but I do think it's a little bit of an overrated item that receiving blankets can do just the same, and receiving blankets are a lot cheaper. So if you have a newborn baby that likes to be swaddled, they don't all, but the majority of them do, because they're used to that tight space in your uterus. Receiving blankets will do that. You fold them a certain way, boom, 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 baby burrito. So it's a lot cheaper to stock up on packs of like 5 receiving blankets than it is to buy items specifically made for swaddles. So I love receiving blankets for that reason. The other reason is they sell burp cloths, sorry, and I actually have some. I've used them. It's fine, it's cute, but receiving blankets can do the same thing. They're kind of like not that blanket that you use to cuddle and be cozy and be warm. It's really just that everything blanket. So it can swaddle, it can wipe up some vomit if they throw up on you. I mean, receiving blankets I feel like are everything, and for that reason they are a must-have in our house. Car seat stroller combo is the next one. So for Lennon, we bought his car seat stroller combo pretty early. I went to Babies R Us, which I'm so sad that they're closed. When they were in that process of closing and trying to kind of get rid of the whole store, and was able to get a really great deal on a car seat stroller combo. And the reason why I specifically like having the combo, and it depends on your lifestyle and depends if you even have a car, if you are gonna go traveling with your baby right away. It really depends on lifestyle if this is gonna be a must-have for you to have this specific combo of car seat and stroller that go together. But I'm talking a literal car seat that can click into a stroller, so not just having both items. So I want to make that clear. The reason why that's so important to me is because even though your baby weighs 6 or 7 pounds, those car seats get heavy, and I bought a lightweight one this time, so I'm hoping that makes a difference. But they do get heavy, and the baby grows, so then they get heavier as you're trying to carry that thing around. It's much easier. Oh my god, I just burped. Whatever. It's much easier to go ahead and open your stroller, click them in, and roll them wherever you are, park, doctor, mall, wherever you take your baby. It's just much easier to have that combo. It clicks right in because they're the same brand, they're made for that. And then when you're done using that car seat for an infant, they still have the stroller that they can use until they can walk everywhere. So that is why the combo is a must-have for my family. And this time, like I said, I bought a lightweight one. So if you can find a lightweight one, that's perfect, because again, if you are a mom or a dad by yourself with a newborn or just an infant and a toddler and a kid, and you're trying to lug a big heavy stroller out of your trunk that barely fits in your trunk to begin with, and then you're trying to click a car seat into it, it can be a lot. So the lightweight one I feel will work a lot better for that. It's really, to carry even the box, felt like there was hardly anything in it. So I'm really looking forward to using that system for us with Lennon. And then the next item is a bottle drying rack. So nowadays they have bottle drying grass as well. It's not real grass, it's plastic or whatever baby safe item it is, I don't know. But maybe it's silicone, I don't know, but it looks like grass, and then you can put all the like nipples and bottle pieces and pacifiers and things of that nature in there after you're done cleaning them. The reason I like these is because yes, if you have a dishwasher, you can put it in there. Even if you have a dish rack, you can put it in there, but you're gonna have a lot of bottles and accessories and nipples and pacifiers, and it's nice for it to just have its own little section off to the side where it dries by itself, you know, separate from dishes and forks and everything off to the side. So for me, it's a must-have, but for someone else, they might just stick it in their dishwasher and call it a day, or you know, put it on their regular dish rack that they use to dry their dishes. And they're pretty inexpensive, anywhere from like $6 to $15 for like a higher end bottle drying rack. And it just separates everything for you, so you never lose a nipple. The next item, I actually could not think, this is how, to me, this is how it goes to show how they try to push so many items, especially to new parents, by saying, oh, you have to have this item is must have, every new parent has to have this, you have to own this. And for me, it was really hard to even come up with 10 of these, because I kept thinking, okay, you're gonna call this video must have, but really it's like, what made your life a little easier when you had your kids? Because there are very few must-haves when you have a baby. I mean, there are the obvious items, like you need somewhere for them to sleep, and you need somewhere for them to, you know, wash up, but in reality, you know, when you're newly pregnant and becoming a mom or a dad, you get bombarded with like, you have to have this, you have to have that. And it's like, so I just came up with a list of things that made my life easier. And so this was the last item I added to my list. It's not the last item for today, but it's the last item that I wrote down. And it's because I really couldn't think of anything. And I thought, what made my life a little easier? What made it a little better? And this was one of those items. So if you have a traditional crib where you can attach things to, because I don't think this would attach to a pack and play, they have an aquarium. But they had a aquarium. It was battery operated, so that was a little bit of a downside, because the batteries do waste if it's on, you know, for your kid most of the night. The batteries will waste, but it basically lit up kind of like a TV screen, and it had music, and it just played an aquarium of fish would just go by. They would just swim by for your kid, and it was really inexpensive, like I want to say $30-40. And they loved it. My kids, I think all three of them had it. Lennon's not going to have a traditional crib setup, so he's probably not going to get this toy, which makes me so sad, because they just loved it. Again, it was one of those things that, you know, if your baby's restless and you've done everything you could do, they've been burped, they've been fed, they've been changed, they've been held for, you know, however long, and they just are just tired and have cried themselves to the point of like, okay, you just need a nap. This just, I don't know, they just like to look at it and then they fall asleep, and it's almost instantaneous. So my 3 kids loved it and all had the same reaction to it. Again, every baby's different, but for us, they just really loved it. And so it made my life a little bit easier, and it was one more thing to kind of soothe them when nothing else was working. So let's see, we have 2 more things. Are you guys still watching? Okay, we have 2 more items. So, a bath seat. Now, there's been some controversy. I talk for a living, you guys, if you guys only saw me at work. There's been some controversy over bath seats in general. So I wrote down here, Summer Infant is the brand that re-released a bath seat, and I don't remember if they were the ones that originally had one to begin with. It retails for about $40. I have that on my registry for Bye Bye Baby. I'm for sure gonna get it because Sophia had a bath seat when she was an infant. You use these once your infant can sit by themselves, and then you do not leave your baby in the tub because they have a bath seat. Do you get where I'm going with this? So the controversy is, or was, that it posed a big drowning hazard for the baby because of whatever reason. I don't really understand that personally, because I wouldn't leave an infant in a bathtub anyway. But I suppose maybe people were putting children who couldn't fully sit on their own yet in the seat, hoping that it would hold them up in the water. Babies are slippery. Babies fall all over the place when they're wet. Like, they have to be able to at least sit themselves up a little bit, and you can't fill the tub to their neck because they're sitting in a seat. So this item requires a little bit of common sense, and there's no kind of nice way to say that. Like, I'm not judging you if you want to fill your baby's tub up, but please watch them and just make sure that they're okay. I think the controversy behind bath seats is they were considered a little dangerous because people were letting their children maybe tip over, or I don't know. I really don't know, but all I know is I could not buy one for Isaiah because they were not for sale, and I could not buy one for Aiden because they were not for sale. So I was really upset about that because it was nice to have a regular baby bathtub, or even just putting an infant that can sit in your bathtub. Like I said, they're very slippery. So unless you are going to have your hand on them at all times and do everything else one-handed, it can get a little hard to do. And for me, bath time is not only about getting clean. I've always loved bath time myself. For myself, I'm talking about taking a bath right now because it's a relaxing time. I get to relax, I get to sit, I get to read a book, I get to go on my phone. It's fun. And I've never made bath time for my kids something about, okay, we have 10 minutes, let's wash you down and let's get out. They have toys, and they have alphabets, and they have paint for the paint that washes off the walls. They have all those different things, and it's nice. Your baby gets to sit in a secure place. Now they have, if you look at the summer infant one, they have like little twisty things that like secure them to the tub, I guess, so that they don't float away. I guess people's kids were floating away, but it's just really a nice thing to have, so that now that because even when they could sit in their own tub, they could still slip and hit their head on the side of the tub. You know, it's just nice to have something secure that they can sit in and still have fun with you and hold their little toys. And it's even nice because they could sit and maybe their little brother can be behind them, you know. It's a nice secure thing. Just please don't leave your baby in it and walk away thinking, okay, they're in a seat, they're okay. That's just not how it works, and that's not what it's meant for. And I think that was what was happening. And then the last thing on my list is a pack and play. So Lennon only has a pack and play at this time. It has a newborn napper attachment. It has a changing table attachment. Those things come off, and then it'll have, for when the baby's an infant and can't yet sit up, it has like a higher up attachment so that the mattress is higher up. Then it lowers down when they can sit and can stand, and you don't want them to like crawl right out of it or topple out of it. The reason why I love pack and plays is that you can easily, if it's like a good one, because some of these are so hard to put together and take apart, but you can easily transport it. So if you want them next to you in your room, boom. If you want them downstairs with you, boom. They have a bed, they have somewhere to lay. For me, even though Isaiah and Aiden had a crib, when they first came home from the hospital, I was really just unsure of them being by themselves in the room. It took me so long to get pregnant for Isaiah that I would just panic like something was going to happen to him in his sleep. Obviously SIDS is a thing, and a lot of new parents, or even seasoned parents, they worry about that. So for me, I would really start to get panicky that, okay, I had my son, but now what? Like, what if I'm not paying attention, or what if his dad doesn't put him down right, or whatever? What if he rolls on his face? And I would get really, really concerned. And having the pack and play in my room next to our bed, in addition to him having a crib, just helped calm me down, and it helps him sleep better too. And so if you're someone who's considering co-sleeping, but you don't want to do that in the same bed because of the risk, if you think that you might accidentally hurt your child, or your child might suffocate on something, it just is nice to have them right next to your bed versus in the bed, and you still get that benefit of co-sleeping with them. So for me, pack and plays are great for that. And also, as they get a little bit older and they're not an infant anymore, they can use, once you take out that top attachment, they can use the pack and play to play. You can bring it with you to parks and sit it in the grass for them. You can bring it to your mom's house when you go visit your family. You can bring it there. And that way they always have somewhere safe that's kind of secluded, so they can't kind of crawl everywhere and play. So that's why I really love pack and plays, and it was a must-have for us once I'm pretty sure all three kids have had it, and so Lennon has one as well. So that is all my items. So those are my must-haves. Again, they're my must-haves. Really not must-haves, but things that made my life a little bit easier, having a new baby and having a baby in general. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and hopefully you guys were able to get some ideas of things that might be useful to you or things that you might really like to have. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that was a must-have for you that I included here, or something that was a must-have for you that I didn't. And I would love to hear all of your comments and all of your items that really kind of made your life easier as a new parent, or as a parent in general. So I will catch you guys in my next video. Be sure to catch part 2 of this video, which is going to be my overrated baby item. Okay, bye guys.